Once upon a time in a quiet village called Ndera, everyone lived happily. The village was surrounded by tall, lush trees, and the people had special rules they followed. One very important rule was that all girls had to remain pure until marriage. This tradition was cherished deeply, and parents in Ndera took pride in it. Often, they would boast among themselves, saying things like, "My daughter is pure, just like all the girls in our village." It was a point of pride and a sign of good upbringing. However, one day, something unexpected happened. A terrible misfortune struck the village, and it was revealed that only a true virgin could lift the curse. There was also a promise that the virgin who carried out the sacrifice would marry the prince, and her parents would receive many gifts and wealth. Excited by this prospect, every parent brought their daughters to the palace. They were confident their girls were pure and eager to win the prize. As the crowd gathered, he stepped forward with a large pot in his hands and addressed everyone. "In this pot is a special necklace blessed by the gods. Only a true virgin can pull it out. This is the test." The girls lined up nervously while their parents watched confidently. One by one, they dipped their hands into the pot, but each came out empty-handed. The air grew tense. Then came the chief's daughters, known for their grace and beauty. The first failed. The second failed. Even the youngest could not retrieve the necklace. The villagers were stunned. Whispers filled the air. How can this be? Not even the chief's daughters. The elders exchanged worried glances. They had always believed the girls were pure. But something had clearly gone wrong. The news spread quickly, causing shock and disbelief. The girls began shouting, "It's not our fault, it's Zina." Attention turned to Zina, the stranger from the city. "She came here and changed everything," an elder woman muttered. "Our girls used to follow traditions. Now look at this." Long ago, Zina had come to visit her aunt in Ndera. She was from the city, beautiful, confident, and always dressed in bright, revealing clothes that caught everyone's eye. The men whispered as she walked by. The village girls watched her too, admiring her walk and style. "I want to be like Zina," one girl said. Zina's confidence and city flair fascinated them. Little did they know, Zina held a secret. The men who admired her were giving her gifts and money, not just for her beauty. Zina met with them in secret, and in return, they showered her with wealth. One day, Noma, the chief's daughter, grew curious. She quietly followed Zina and saw her meeting a man in a hidden spot, then walking away with a small bag of money. So this is Zina's secret, she thought. The men give her gifts for being with them. Though Noma had always followed the rules, she wondered if she could do the same. The next day, she approached a young merchant who had admired her. They met in secret, and he gave her gifts, just like he had done with Zina. This is so easy, she thought. I can get nice things too. Soon, Noma told her friends about Zina's secret and how easy it was. The other girls were shocked but quickly became curious. More girls started dressing differently and attracting attention from men. "If Zina and Noma can do it, why can't we?" they said. Zina noticed and saw an opportunity. She began arranging meetings between the girls and men, taking a share of the gifts. "I'll set everything up," she told them. "Just be nice to the men." The girls followed her lead. They loved the attention and gifts. Slowly, they forgot about their village's traditions and values. What started as a secret soon became a way of life. The girls acted normal around their families, but in secret, they were living lives that went against everything Ndera stood for. The idea of meeting men in secret had become normal. Shame and guilt vanished. The traditions were quietly crumbling. Then, something terrible happened. Plants withered. Animals fell ill. People suffered strange symptoms. The village was in chaos. Desperate, the villagers turned to the oracle, Duru. They gathered in his hut. The elders explained the crisis, and after a long silence, Duru spoke. The gods are angry. The purity they treasured has been lost. To appease them, 2 virgin maidens must carry a sacrifice to the sacred altar. The villagers gasped. They believed all their girls were pure, but now they weren't so sure. Duru warned, the sacrifice must be made within 2 days, or the curse will grow worse. The next morning, the town crier shouted, "All young maidens, come to the palace." Every family brought their daughters. But when the test was performed by Duru, no girl could retrieve the necklace. Not one. The truth was out, there were no virgins left in Ndera. Zina had changed them all. Back in the present, he said solemnly, "The gods see everything. Their anger is clear. We must continue the search." But it was hopeless. The village's pride had crumbled. The girls had failed the test. Blame fell on Zina. She became the symbol of the village's downfall. Her parents rushed from the city in shame. "We should have raised her better," her father said. "I let her do as she pleased," her mother admitted sadly. Zina, feeling the full weight of the blame, finally understood the harm she had caused. The villagers demanded that she be held responsible. With no other options, the elders made a decision: Zina would carry the sacrifice alone. It was the only way to make amends with the gods. Zina stood before the village, holding the calabash of offerings. The oracle Duru told her, "You must walk alone. This is your burden." She began her journey, passing disapproving faces and walking into the forest. For 2 days, she walked without rest. As she trudged on, Zina reflected on everything. The attention she had once enjoyed now felt meaningless. Tears streamed down her face as she realized how far she and the other girls had strayed from their values. She finally reached the altar and placed the calabash down, crying out for forgiveness. She prayed that peace would return to Ndera. As she left the altar, a quiet sense of acceptance settled over her. She knew she had to face the consequences. When she returned, the villagers saw signs of healing. Plants came back to life. Animals recovered. The curse was lifted. But Zina's punishment remained. Duru announced, "The gods have accepted the sacrifice. But Zina must remain in Ndera for 12 years. She will carry all future sacrifices." Zina was given a small hut near the shrine. She lived in isolation, treated as an outcast. She spent her days in solitude, reflecting on her actions. Meanwhile, the village reinforced its traditions. City visitors were no longer allowed. Zina's story became a cautionary tale told to every child. For 12 long years, Zina remained in the village, alone, burdened, and changed. She learned that true beauty and worth come from within. Respecting one's heritage was vital. The village of Ndera slowly healed, but the memory of what happened stayed alive through generations. Zina's story became a lesson in humility, respect, and making wise choices. I hope you enjoyed the story. If so, please like the video, comment what you learned from the tale, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more enchanting tales just like this one. Thank you.